Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary T. I know this is my first time of putting myself on a video. Normally I do video without showing myself, or you only hear me explaining what I'm doing. So today I'll be cutting A-line gown, a very long A-line fitted gown, to be very fitted on the body. It will have a front slit, then it will have tail at the back, and the gown is one shoulder off shoulder. Then the one shoulder will have a very long hand, while the other one will have small hand on it with the design. So the dress is for bridesmaid, so I will want the dress to be very beautiful. So this is the material I'll be using to cut the dress, the red material as you're seeing it. Sorry, I'm cutting it on the floor. It should be on the table, but the material is very long, so I'll be cutting it on the floor. If you are new to my channel, you are highly welcome. Please subscribe to my channel, share my video, like, comment, share my video in any of your internet, WhatsApp, Facebook, anywhere at all, Instagram. Share my video. Then to all my old subscribers, I'm really so grateful. I give you thumbs up. Thank you. Watch my video, like my video, and always comment. Please, if there is anything you want me to explain to you, or maybe you do not understand while making the video, you can kindly comment. I'll go through the comment box and answer to your question or reply to anything you write there. So right now we will move down to the cutting. We'll proceed to the cutting of the video. So the length of the gown, that I'll be cutting is 60 inches. Then the half length is 16. I lost 16 from 60. That will give me 44. Plus 2 inches sewing allowance. That will be 46. So I've marked my full length. This is the full length. So from my waist, here will serve as my waist, while here will serve as the down part. From my waist to my hip is, from my waist to the hip is 9 inches. From the waist to the knee is 18 inches, or rather 19 inches. So the waist measurement is 28. 28 divided by 4 will give me, divided by 2 will give me 14, divided by 4 will give me 7. 7 plus 2 inches sewing allowance, which is 9 inches. Then I will add extra 1 inch for my dart. That will be 10 inches. I will only be adding the 1 inch dart on the waist. I won't be adding that on the hip. Then my hip circumference is 40. Sorry, it's 38. 38 divided by 4 will be 9.5. Plus 2 inches sewing allowance, that will be 11.5. Then 11.5 on the hip. I might lost 1 inches. Then I'll bring it down to the knee. So 11.5 minus 1 will be 10.5. So I'll connect it with my free hand. If you have a pattern master, you can use that, or ruler, any of it you have. So this is the hip. Then from the hip, I'll carve it down to the knee. If you have your ruler, you use your ruler. I'm using a free hand. So here I will curve here very well because I will not want the nail to have a sharp edge. So this is what I have for the A-line gown for the down part. So I'll use this one to trace out the back, adding the zipper allowance and the tail. Remember I told you the front will have slit, so my slit will start from the dart. To put that on this, I'll measure 4 inches. 4 inches. That will be 4 by 6 for my dart. Or you can do 4 by 5.5 or 4 by 5, any of your choice. So I'll take half inch from the right and half inch from the left. So this is for my dart. I'll be cutting it. This is for the front. Then I'll use it to cut the back. So adding the tail, I'm using 5 inches. That is the extra length I added for the tail. So this is the waist. From the waist to hip is 9 inches. From the hip to nail is 19 inches. So I will be adding 1.5 inches for the zipper allowance. So this is the nail. From the hip to the nail, I will carve it. I'll mark half inch here. Then from this half inch, I will give it a C curve to this point. My reason for doing it is for it to help the nail to lap very well. So from this place, I will mark the tail down to here. I don't want it to have too much tail. I just want a small tail. So here will serve as the tail. Then I'll curve it from here. I'll mark it from here. Down to this place. So I'll be cutting this place direct. I will not be adding any. So this is it for the back and the front. I'll launch the nail. This is the nail, the hip, the waist. This is cutting the upper side of it. The half length. The half length is 16 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance. That will be 17 inches. So I'll mark down the 17 inches. From my waist, from my shoulder to bust is 9 inches. My shoulder measurement, the shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2. It will give me, rather 15 inches divided by 2, it will give me 7.5. I'll bring down the 7.5 to the bust. My bust measurement is 36 divided by 4 will be 9 plus 2 inches sewing allowance. that is 11. The waist is 28 by 4, that will be 7 plus 2 inches sewing allowance, 9 plus 1 inch dart, 10. Then to carve my armhole, I will come to the midpoint by 4.5. From the 4.5, I will carve it. So I will cut out the front using it to trace out the back. Then after tracing out the back, I will now trim out one side because I told this one shoulder off shoulder. So this is for the zipper allowance. I'll slit it open. So to cut the off shoulder, one off shoulder, I'll sew this place. The zipper allowance, I'll sew it straight. So I'll move to the machine and sew it. After sewing it, then I'll show you how to cut the one shoulder off shoulder. Length. One side of the gown is long sleeve while the other side is short sleeve. So the sleeve length is 21 plus the sleeve length is 20 plus 2 inches. 1 inch for folding allowance and 1 inch for sewing allowance. That will be 22. The round sleeve is The round sleeve is 14. 14 divided by 2 will be 7. Then plus 2 inches sewing allowance. This is 17 plus 2 inches sewing allowance. This is 7 plus 2 inches sewing allowance. So to this side, I'll come inside by 4 inches. From the 4 inches, I'll carve it down to the end part. I'll come inside by 1.5 inch. From the 1.5 inch, I will slant it to this place. So this is for the sleeve. This is for the sleeve for one side. Then I'll cut the other side off small sleeve, and it's off shoulder sleeve. So to cut the off shoulder to shoulder, this is for the back. I stitched the zipper allowance inside, and if you see, the front is facing the table while the back is facing up. So this is the front. The front will be facing up, the right side will be facing up, while the wrong side will be facing down. So this is the right side facing up, while the wrong side is facing down. So this is the front or right side of the front. This is the right side of the back. Why this is the wrong side of the front, and this is the wrong side will face each other. shoulder one to be here this side, while the off shoulder one will be this side. So like what I have on the picture, if you see what I have on the picture. So this is how I want it to be. So I'll mark by 4 here, 4.5, sorry. I'll mark 4.5. Then I'll slant it down to the armhole. I'll slant it down to the armhole. To me, this is the easiest way of cutting one shoulder, off shoulder. So I'll trim it off from here down to here. So this side will now be off shoulder, while this side will be shoulder. So this is it for one shoulder, off shoulder. This one is now a waist. There will be no use for it. So this is the front. All I have to do is I'll use the lining to turn this side. I'll use it to turn it up, close this side. Then to the back I have to open this zipper allowance. I'll open it, I'll loose it up, then attach my zipper, use lining and turn it up. Then I'll use this half length to join the down part. So I'll go to the machine and sew it. After joining it, if you like, you can add lining. It's a lycra material, you can add lining on your own. If you don't like, you can sew it like that. So I'll move down to the machine and continue the sewing. After the sewing, then I'll show you the final outcome of the dress. Then the other sleeve, I already cut out the long sleeve. So I'll cut the short sleeve. That one will just be a straight something. 12 inches. This is the 12 inches. Then I'll mark 4 inches. I'm marking it folded. I folded it into 2. So for it to have weight, I'll just cut out a straight saw. So this is the 12 by 4. I'll fold it again, making it by 4. After folding it, this will be the down part, this will be the upper part. I'll come inward by 8. I'll come by 5.3. I'll come inward by 5.3. Then I'll carve it down to the up. So this is for the other sleeve. I will now stitch this side. After stitching it, I will turn it up and sew this side. So this is it. I'll move to the sewing. Right. So looking at what I have here, this is the back, the one shoulder, off shoulder. I've attached my zip. I've joined the back. I've also put my dart. So this is the back. This is the back. Then here is the front. This is the one shoulder. I've also put my dart and the slit. If you see it, you can see I've also put my slit. I fold the material, the down part, into 2. I folded it into 2. I measure 4 inches. That 4 inches that I use for that. That's what I mark straight. 4 inches. I mark, this is 4 inches. I measured for that. I mark it straight to this point. Then I measure the length where I want my slit to start. So I measure it from here to 20 inches. Then from the 20 inches, I cut it open to get this slit. So all I have to do now is to join it both sides together. Join both the front and the back. together. Sorry I didn't say. I will minus 1 inch for shoulder slope. I'll mark 1 inch here, 1 inch here, then I'll slant it to this point. I'll mark 1 inch from here to here. I'll slant it to this point. It's called shoulder slope. So I will now join the both sides together. After joining it, I will attach the sleeve. After attaching the sleeve, I'll weave it. I'll use a weaving machine to weave the both sides, both the front and back. After that, then I'll show you the final result. So this is the sleeve. I will attach it. This is the other one, the sleeve for the up shoulder. I will attach it also.
Holy, holy.